So people often ask me, how do you actually make money? Look over my head, there's going to be 2 inserts of a couple pays that came in, and I was just while I was driving. And in the meantime, let's talk about Sentry Mode. We'll start this video talking about Sentry Mode. It's 9:11 p.m. I just turned it on. It is minus 14 Celsius outside. I'm going to leave it on all night, and those of you that are not familiar, I think you'll be surprised to see the battery go from 71% to about 66% in 11 or 12 hours.
It just doesn't get old. It still amazes me how much battery you wind up losing in Sentry Mode.
We'll check in the morning. I will tell you guys, the polar vortex is real, and this car just does not like the cold. I look at it and it looks like it's frowning.
I know, if I was out there all night, I'd be frowning too.
All right, you guys, where do we end up? It's 6:53 a.m. now, and we've got 65% battery, and I'm going to turn Sentry Mode off. As you can see, it's minus 22 Celsius, so it says real feel on the right, minus 27. So pretty cold, and we burned 6% doing nothing, just with Sentry Mode off, and that's how this works, and that's part of what this video is about. Sentry Mode really is, makes the battery a burn victim because it burns battery quickly. You know, what else is real is this coffee that I really need.
Babe, get me one too, please. They say a woman's work is never done.
That I'm about to have right now. But before I do,
Thanks.
a little bit more of the ambiance of that polar vortex, my friends. All right, you guys, I preheated the car and it's time to get out of here. Let's see if she's a tomb of frozen ice or if I can get in. The moment of truth.
Man, she's filthy. Wintertime is havoc on the interior of a car too.
We're good. We're in, guys. This old style remote, though, is frozen. So today is Saturday. I'm on my way to the gym. Gonna do a chest workout. It's Saturday the 25th of January. I don't know where the screen just went there, but I just looked at my watch just to give you the right date. Anyhow, so I was looking at a couple interesting things. ADA is going to have, that's Cardano, a crypto, not investment advice, just what I've been peeking at lately to add to what I'm up to. Looks like it's going to have an ETF soon. Well, I don't know if soon's the right word, and of course it may never happen. Again, not investment advice, just my opinion. But I thought I would just share with you guys that I think it's interesting, and I'm going to buy some, even though it's just a hair under $1 right now. The other fun fact, back to bouncing around to the Cybertruck, I didn't realize that for 22 grand, what a bargain. I'm being sarcastic, it's a lot of money. They'll give you, they'll bolt on extra power. I'm not sure how it works, where the battery capacity, it'll have an extra, I think 100 or 150 kilometers. I might be wrong on the specs, or 100 miles.
Actually, my dear, they say that the extended battery pack should give you approximately 120 miles.
But that's also food for thought if you're considering a Cybertruck. Even though I love Tesla, I don't know. I've seen a couple. I saw one in a mall. It looked cool, and then when I saw one on the road, it just looked like a big, awkward refrigerator on wheels. I didn't really like how it looked on the road. I think it looked goofy, but maybe it grows on you, and I haven't driven one, so that might change everything. I don't know.
Personally, I haven't driven one, but I have to say, I think they really look cool, and I know they don't look like a refrigerator on wheels to me.
And those are my thoughts there. As you can see, it's looking very, very polar outside, and the temperature, if you can see it, definitely tells you the story. We got polar vortex still happening. You can see that it's probably minus 25, 26 Celsius real feel, which is minus 13 Fahrenheit, I believe. And I'm just trying to make my way to the gym so I can get back, because the only thing that's on my mind really is some breakfast. That's going to be some scrambled egg whites that my wife's going to make with some cheese and probably spinach, and throw in a few other things there, and mushrooms. So I'm excited for that. Just a relaxing Saturday. Was a good business week, and I'll be back in a bit. Back to the business side or investments, you can't rule out that Dogecoin. That's another thing I'm looking at, because the government's actually actively using the name for the Department of Government Efficiency, and there's rumors of an ETF for that too, not just Cardano, meaning the Dogecoin. I think it's at 35, 36 cents as of today's date. It's another one I'm thinking of just adding to my dance and see what happens. I think there's potential. Again, not investment advice. You can lose all the money, so don't listen to me, but I just think it's interesting. Another thing to think about, that long road that I was just on is usually a speed trap, and people wouldn't normally think about this, but when regen doesn't slow the car down, you could be speeding thinking you're slowing down, because the car normally, if you take your foot off the gas, would slow down much faster and bring you under the back to the speed limit if you were speeding much quicker. All right, you guys, I made it to the gym. I'm not excited about this at all, but I'm gonna go in, because you got to do what you got to do, even when you don't feel like it. And like all the things we know we should do, but maybe don't feel like doing at a particular time, that we do end up doing and following through with anyways, you feel good when you're done, because you know that you did what you needed to do, not necessarily what you wanted to do. And what you need to do leads to getting what you want in your daily consciousness. And on the real battery life, real world type of video side of things, let's see where we are. We're currently sitting at 51%. So if I remember correctly, but the video won't lie because the times will be in there and you've already seen them earlier. I think I started at maybe 65%. And the car sat outside with Sentry mode sucking away overnight, and then a short drive here to the gym, and now gonna drive back to the house for some breakfast. 51% battery. And some of you may laugh at this one, but you know what? Trump coin is taking a dive, and I think there's rumblings about an ETF there too. If there's loopholes created because he's president and he puts that coin behind some utility behind that coin and builds out businesses using it, that's something else you may want to just buy little bits and pieces of and accumulate as it goes down. You can't time everything perfectly. I think it'll probably still go down more, but because of what I said, and remember, this is nothing more than speculative gambling, informed gambles. That's my other thought for the week. Okay, I lied. Actually, I have one more thought. Tron TRX. I've been sitting there at 4 cents for maybe 5-6 years now. It went up as high as 42 or 45 cents a few weeks ago, and I'm still holding. They're involved in different things, one of them being the gambling industry. And that's a coin that, as others keep getting vaporized, since they've been around for a long time and have utility. Utility means the coin actually does something, and it's an industry that gives basic, well, it's not basic, but it gives emotional gratification to the end user. And you find that type of power with gambling and a couple other industries as well, that the end user actually gets a rush off of using the product. So something like that is very powerful, and if it's run correctly behind the scenes, that's a coin that, as things get erased, could see $5-10 if you're patient and want to hold it. Again, I say it every time, not investment advice, just my opinion. It's gambling. You can lose every dollar, so don't listen to me. It's just my opinion. Also, most of the viewers watching the channel are male, between 33 to 45 years old. That's the time, and before that in your 20s, to work your face off, because that's the time where you have the most energy, and you may not have the most knowledge yet, but wisdom comes, and theory and application backed with wisdom becomes very dangerous. So as you get older, you can work less if you've done things right or learned some good things. But in the beginning, you really want to just go nuts. Go nuts, Put that first. Everything else will fall into place if you can acquire serious momentum married to skills.